Welcome to Senior Beat. I'm Cindy Morrison. Today we are discussing a fantastic event coming up in town, What It's Worth. It's an antique appraisal event being held Saturday, July 15th, 9 to 12 at Groton Senior Center. And today we have with us Leah Kingman of Eldred's Auctioneers and Appraisers. Welcome, Leah.
Hi, thank you for having me.
Thank you for coming. Can you tell us about yourself and the company?
Sure. So Eldred's has been in business for just over 50 years. We're a full-service auction house located primarily on Cape Cod, although we opened an office in Mystic last year. And we handle a wide variety of antiques and decorative arts as well as fine art. And we have about 20 auctions a year. And then we also do appraisals. So if people need formal written appraisals for any purpose, we handle those as well. I've been with Eldred's for just under 3 years, and my specialties there include European decorative arts, 20th century and contemporary decorative arts, jewelry, and silver. And I'm also one of the auctioneers.
Awesome. That is great information. Wow, you guys do so much. What does one do to become qualified to become an appraiser, such as you?
There's a couple different routes that people take. I kind of have an academic background. I have a master's in art history, but a lot of my colleagues are people who grew up in the business, literally from the age of 8 or 9, helping their parents in the auction house.
Cool.
Gaining valuable hands-on experience that you really can't learn in class. So I think at the end of the day, it's really that you have to have a passion and an interest in it, and then you kind of find your own way to the business.
Do you become certified?
As auctioneers, we're all certified with the state of Massachusetts. All of our auctions are conducted in our Massachusetts branch currently. We don't have any auctions running out of the Mystic branch. So all the auctioneers are licensed with the state. And appraisals, you don't actually need a license. There are a couple of kind of professional organizations that you can be a member of, and they do offer certificate programs and kind of continuing education courses, but there's no firm qualifications that you have to have.
Okay, this is great information. I think a lot of people would like to know, how much do appraisals typically run?
It really depends on what you need. If you are coming into our office and it's a single item, it's going to be fairly inexpensive, probably between $100 and $200. If it's the contents of an entire home or it's an estate situation and we have to go to you, it really can go up from there. There's the time we spend on site, if we have to do any research, and then also just the time it takes to draw up the documents. Because there's a little bit of a difference between a formal written appraisal and then just giving consideration for auction estimates. If people have things that they're interested in parting with and selling, we look at those free of charge, whether they come to us or we go to them. But if you need that legal document that is an appraisal, there is a fee for that.
And then, so once you appraise something and you find that it is worthy, does somebody need to get insurance for it?
Well, typically people come to us already knowing that they need an insurance appraisal. If I could just back up for a second, there's really 2 different kinds of written appraisals that people get. There's either a replacement value appraisal, which is what you use for insurance purposes, or there's what's called a fair market value appraisal. And that's what people use in an estate situation, or it's usually not the best circumstances, an estate situation or divorce, or also though when you inherit something. If you inherit something of value, you want to establish that cost basis so that if you do sell it in the future, you would only pay capital gains taxes on the difference between the value when you inherited it and the current market value, rather than the whole value of it. So those are the major reasons people get an appraisal. So going back to your question about insurance, people typically already know that they need to have an insurance appraisal. And that's something that their agent or their insurance provider tells them that they need. So they usually already have that information when they come to us.
Okay. And now, kind of off of the event here, you guys did participate last year.
We did, yes.
And thank you for that. And thank you for
course.
doing it again this year.
Yeah, we're happy to do it.
So What It's Worth is an antique appraisal event where we have yourself and many others who are going to be there. People walk in with no more than 2 items. You don't really have a lot with you to check it out. Say somebody walks in with a European painting. How do you assess it?
Well, we do, in this day and age, we do rely on internet databases.
Right.
We subscribe to a couple different professional databases that give us information about artists, quick biographies, style guides, signatures, and then also prices realized databases from other auction houses.
Okay.
And
That's
so
really cool.
in order to be able to answer people in a timely fashion in an event like this, we do use those tools.
And so, say somebody brings in this painting, you're spending like 5, 10, 20 minutes on it, a person?
Yeah.
Okay. And then, so the other persons who are coming to this event, I want to mention them to you. We have Larry Shapiro, General Antiques, Pawcatuck Valley Coin Club. We have Mike Westman for General Antiques also. Nathan Liverant and Sons for furniture, silver, glass, and more. Will's Books for buying and reviewing books. And we have Justine Dimitrik, Custom Jewelry and More, and Miller Stamp Collectors. So we have a wide variety there.
It's a really wide variety. It sounds like most types of objects will be covered in one way or another.
It's going to be a very busy room.
Yeah.
So say somebody has something, I don't think a stamp or a piece of jewelry, but a piece of a painting or a piece of furniture or something that your company would appraise at our event. What if it's too big? How do you guys handle that?
Physically too big?
Like physically too big.
People have trouble bringing it to us or something? You can always bring photographs. If you have, a smartphone or a tablet or even, developed film photographs, we can usually provide a lot of information from photographs.
Oh, that's
there are
wonderful.
times when we say, you know what, we really need to see this in person, or we need to see what's on the back of this or something like that. But the vast majority of cases, we can at least give rough information from photographs.
That's wonderful. That's very helpful. I know last year we had tremendous turnout and a lot of people. Most of them were able to bring them with them, but that's really good info for them to be able to bring a photograph with details of the item. What kind of items do you expect your company to see this year at the event?
We always tend to see a lot of paintings. Lots of people have paintings and art on their walls. We do tend to see a lot of jewelry, primarily things that people have inherited but maybe don't know that much about. When we've done these in the past, I know we also often see antique firearms. A pretty wide range of sometimes we see documents and ephemera, pretty much whatever people have but maybe don't know that much about. Things they inherited or they're not quite sure where they got a piece. It tends to be what they bring.
Okay.
Most people don't bring things that they already know a lot about.
Right.
They come with questions and want to learn.
They're curious.
Yeah.
What's been the and I know you yourself weren't at the event last year, but what's like some of the more memorable items that have been brought in and have surprised people?
I did an event about 1.5 years ago, and someone right at the end, a lot of people had already, the tables were kind of being shut down. A couple of the other appraisers had already left, and it was a antique Tiffany & Company smoking set. So it was right around the turn of the 20th century. It was mixed metal, so it was copper overlaid with silver in a very kind of Art Nouveau oak and acorn design. It was it was really beautiful. I've never seen another one before or since. It was just a lovely piece to see.
Oh.
Yeah.
And they were surprised by the value of it?
They were actually. They didn't realize it was as old as it was. They thought it was kind of more mid-20th century. And again, kind of just found it in the back of the closet, didn't even really know how it had come to
how they got it. They're just cleaning.
In their possession. Exactly, yeah.
That's awesome. You guys clean your closets and bring in the items.
You never know what you might have.
Yeah. What happens if the item is outside your area of expertise or your company?
Yeah, I know my coworkers who will actually be at this event, if they see something that isn't immediately in their, like you said, in their kind of area, I think they would either use the resources at the event. I mean, there's a lot of
we have
knowledge
some great
here.
people.
So they might simply say, you know what, we don't really handle stamps that often, but if you go over to Miller Stamp Company, I'm sure they can help you. The other thing is they might try and call one of us who's not there.
Okay.
And send photographs, like I mentioned. We often send photographs amongst ourselves.
Right.
Or even put us on the phone with the person.
Oh, cool.
And if all else fails, just taking their information and saying that we'll get back to them.
You guys are all very hands-on.
We try and be. We try and be. I mean, the worst thing is when you can't tell somebody something.
Right. You don't want to not give them the information.
Yeah.
I like that. So as far as like the stuff you're doing and what we're doing at this event, this particular event, people can only bring 2 items. They're $5 each per item. Do you require them to come with any paperwork if they're bringing something in?
No, there's certainly no requirement. I always tell people if you have some sort of, if you have an original sales receipt for something, or if you have had it appraised in the past and you have that documentation, more information is always helpful, but if you don't have anything, that's fine too.
Okay.
So if you have documentation and paperwork that accompanies it, certainly bring it. But.
Okay, that sounds great. Now, like we have a stamp collector, we have books, we have arts and antiques, we have furniture, silver, glass. Do most appraisers have very similar qualifications, or?
I think so. I mean, I can really only speak to my colleagues that work also in the auction world.
Right.
And so many things just travel through our hands so quickly on such a regular basis. It's such a great education.
That's cool.
So you learn fast. You learn on the job quite quickly.
How long have you been doing this?
So I've been doing this, let's see, this fall will be 8 years.
8 years?
Yeah.
That's fantastic.
Yeah.
I love that. What's been the most surprising of it all for you?
Well, I mean, probably the biggest surprise, someone came into our office about a year ago and they brought a watch, it was just in a cardboard box, and they said it was my dad's, no one's worn it in a long time, we don't know anything about it. And it was a Patek Philippe watch.
Okay.
So you know that it's a great watch, you know it's very valuable. But when the woman was there, I just could not get the back off of it for the life of me.
Oh, no.
So I couldn't look up the reference number or do any of the research I really wanted to do. But she left it with me anyway. She said, take your time, just get back to me once you have the information. And as I started going, researching it and spending time on it, it turned out to be this incredibly rare watch. And we sold it in November. It brought $270,000.
Wow.
So yeah, you
That's
literally
incredible.
never know what you're going to see.
Right. Boy, she must have been very, very happy with that outcome.
She was.
Wow. I guess she didn't mind giving it up.
No, I mean, she had kind of, I think, already realized that she was
really
no longer interested in having it regardless of the value. So.
Okay, cool. How much, I think we already talked about this, do appraisals typically run for a painting versus jewelry versus, I know we have general antiques, but like if somebody comes in with, say, a book that has not the originals, but the paintings of it, the copies, excuse me. How much are you looking there?
Well, for an actual written appraisal, the fee is it's the same for whatever we're appraising. And the fee is just an hourly rate.
Okay.
It's not determined by the value of the object either.
Oh, that's good to know.
That's a little unethical.
Yeah.
So
like
it's just an hourly rate regardless of the type of piece or the ultimate value. But in order to do that written legal appraisal document, we have to see it in person. So we wouldn't be able to do a legal appraisal from photographs.
Okay.
We do need to see it in person for a written appraisal.
Okay.
And it really just, the cost really ultimately depends on the length of time that we need to spend
And now
on it.
you did mention think you guys remember, you said sometimes you'll go to the site.
We do, yes.
So do you include the cost of travel for that in your hourly rate?
Not typically. If it gets to be outside of 60 miles or an hour travel time, we do add on something, but if it's local, we don't want to charge
and you
people.
guys, again, are based out of Massachusetts, but have local here.
Exactly. So anybody in the area here would not have to be paying for any transportation fees or anything like that.
Nice. So again, this awesome event we're having, Leah, you won't be here for it, unfortunately.
I won't, unfortunately.
But your cohorts will, and we are having this Saturday, July 15th. It's 9 to 12. Again, it's $5 per item, and each person is allowed to bring no more than 2 items. We had quite a showing the first 2 years we did this. We actually had to cap it off. So we want to make sure that people get in and you're seen. So come prepared, come early. You want to get in there. We don't pre-register anyone. You pay the day of, and it's a phenomenal event. Like you said, the people we have coming, again, we have Eldred's Auctioneers and Appraisers, Larry Shapiro, Pawcatuck Valley Coin Club, Will's Books, Nathan Liverant and Son, Mike Westman, Justine Dimitrick, and Miller Stamp Company. So these are all awesome businesses that are, you guys are wonderful because they're volunteering their time to come and do this. So thank you guys so much for that.
I was actually going to bring that up because it's my understanding that the $5 is going towards the senior center.
Yes, it is.
Yeah,
yes,
everybody's volunteering their time.
Thank you for bringing that up. So yes, this is a fundraiser for the Groton Senior Center for us to be able to offer more programs for the seniors in Groton, but not just Groton. So don't feel slighted if you don't live in Groton. This is for everybody. And yeah, you guys all the businesses are solely doing this out of the kindness of your hearts, and we really, really appreciate it. So if you have any questions, you can call us at the Groton Senior Center, and our phone number is 860-441-6785, and we can get your questions answered. If you have questions specific to what Eldred's Auctioneers and Appraisers has, we can get you that information as well. But do come down to the event. We're looking forward to seeing you all. It's a huge success event. People were very happy last year. I think you will be too. And we look forward to seeing you guys there. And Leah, thank you so very much for this. And
you're welcome.
Your cohorts for coming down on Saturday, July 15th.
Great. We hope to see you all there.
Thank you.